Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the potential for severe weather and maybe even snow across the United States this coming week. Let's take a look at the GFS model here over the entire continental US. As we can see that there is two low pressure systems. This is the one that's currently moving out that had tornadoes in parts of the deep south and across Florida. It's moving out with just bands of rain right now, maybe a little bit of thundery weather for you there down in the East Coast. And this new system here, I don't think it's going to do much, but let's find out. Let's see where it goes. So our old system kinda moves out. We've got a new low pressure here that kind of just happens as we move to Monday here, and we've got a new low pressure system with pretty low pressure. There's going to be some snow up here in Minnesota and North Dakota, maybe up into Canada a little bit, as our low pressure systems slowly move out of the country. We've got probably high pressure here, and a pretty big high pressure that's kind of dominating the middle of the U.S. As we move forward into the week, we hit Tuesday, and there's some showers forming in Texas. As we move into Wednesday, which we could be seeing a big rain event and severe weather event. And over here in the mountains, we've got snow. So we've got two weather events going on, snow and rain. Heavy rain, most likely. So let's take a look at the temperatures for Tuesday and Wednesday, and actually Monday as well, because we saw that snow up there in Minnesota and North Dakota. Let's take a look. Temperatures as we head into the week. Sunday, it's pretty mild, and we've got a giant dip of cold coming in here from Canada as we move into Monday and Tuesday. If I can get to Tuesday, we do have sufficient temperatures for winter weather across parts of the mountains, North Dakota and Minnesota. There seems to be a sharp line kind of cutting Minnesota in two here, so for you it'll be rain. North Dakota probably be mostly snow as precipitation, and things start to get into the 40s, 50s, maybe 60s across parts of the middle of the United States, and as you go south it warms up a little bit. We've got temperatures of 70s in the 60s in Florida, parts of Texas, highs of about 75, 76 in Arizona, and the Northeast, you're getting some pretty chilly temperatures this week, around 40s and 30s. So bundle up in your sweatshirt, get ready for some cooler temperatures. Let's take a look at the temperature as we go into Wednesday. So in Wednesday, we've got another cold dip. You can see there's a low pressure definitely right here, as there's almost a spiral of different air temperatures. This would be the center of the low pressure system, and you can see here there seems to be, let me just grab my pen tool real quick. There seems to be a cold front right here. You can see there's a sharp edge between warm and cool air, which basically is indicating that there is a cold front moving through that area. So here we'll be seeing snow. If I can get a better color real quick. Use red. Snow here. Rain and severe weather would be here. Now, I'm not saying there's going to be severe weather, because we still have yet to look at the models that will tell us if there will be severe weather, but we're going to find out. So let's keep going through the week as we head off into Thursday. Things are still in the 40s, 50s, 60s across the country. Arizona warming up to a good 85 degrees. Florida almost in the 80s on Thursday, as our low pressure system seems to move out and dissipate into the Atlantic. And another blast of cold on Thursday, and temperatures across the United States are getting down into the 30s and 20s. So bundle up, get ready for a nice cold shot. I will update about this cold shot later, but this is what the models are saying. Cold. Cold in the late week. Okay, as we move into Friday, things start to warm up again. We're back up into the 40s and 50s. The mountain areas over here in the west of the United States seem to be warming up just a little bit. I mean, we still got some 20s and 30s here and there, but for the most part, most of the country is pretty mild for early spring. And we start to get cool again, down into the 40s and 30s again by Friday. And Friday afternoon, it's cold again. Saturday, cold again. It's going to be round after round of cold shot, and we'll be in the 40s, 30s, maybe even the 50s if you're lucky, 60s, during the week, late week. So at the beginning of the week, we've got some weather to watch for, and during the entire week, we've got to watch the temperatures, and make sure you bundle up. Let's go back to our precipitation, so we can see what the precipitation will be like for the rest of the week, past Wednesday. So let's head back to Wednesday here. Just gotta wait for the lag to dissipate here. We've got our high pressure system here in the Atlantic. Here's our severe weather event, potentially. The low seems to be a little bit too low for severe weather. Maybe some flash flooding possible, and we've got some snow over here in the mountains. As we move into Thursday, our low pressure system is moving out. Maybe some rain and severe storms over parts of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and Maryland. So DC might be seeing some storms. We've got another low pressure system out here in the west, in almost Vegas it looks like. Let's keep moving on through the week. On Friday, our low pressure system regains strength and starts to move up the east coast, so we might be seeing some rainy weather up there in the northeast, some moderate rain. Massachusetts look like you get a big band of rain, and Connecticut, maybe some rain for you too. Now, this is interesting. Over here in Big Square State here, Colorado it looks like. Is that Colorado or Wyoming? It's one of the two. Kansas, Nebraska, I'll just say Colorado and Wyoming. They both get snow over the course of this coming Friday, it looks like. Maybe some rain showers dipping down into Texas as we go along through the week. Some snow, it looks like, in Vermont and New Hampshire, and maybe some parts of New York. And as we move into the weekend, it's going to be nice and clear across maybe parts of the south where we see some rain, but for the most part, everything seems to clear out. Maybe some isolated spots of showers, but nothing serious. And as we move into Sunday, we might see our next weather event start to take shape as a high pressure system sets up over the middle of the United States, I would say. And we've got another low pressure in the southwest of the United States that moves with lots of precipitation across to the east. And Florida might be getting some rain here, and we see some snow bands. It looks like a giant trough almost coming in here, but there's a high pressure here, so I'm not so sure about that one. But that's into next week. I think we've covered this week very well. So let's look at the potential for severe weather in the south on Wednesday this week. Let me just go over to the NAM 3 kilometer CONUS, and we go to regional and to the south central US. So what we look for when we look at severe weather is instability, lift, moisture, and shear. Those are the biggest ingredients for any severe weather, and tornadoes as well. So let's look at the values of these specific parameters. First, let's look at the wind, temperature, height, wind, right here. So here we've got this long line of cold air where you can see it's warm over here, but it's cold over here. That usually indicates that there's a cold front, and cold fronts are usually the biggest weather bringers, if you would say. They usually have those isolated cells and thunderstorms that you would see associated with a storm like this. So as we move into the week, or into Wednesday rather, you can see this almost stationary front just take shape and move across. Temperatures do seem to kind of stay in this area, so we might see a lot of wet weather in this kind of region. I'm not really expecting much until later in the day during Wednesday, because really this is only like 6 in the morning, it looks like. So the areas to watch would be somewhere around here. That's not very visible. Let's use a bigger tool. So that's a bit big. Areas to watch along this boundary, not a boundary, along this front, and anywhere I've just circled in here. Prepare for some wet weather, potentially, and maybe some severe weather. We don't know yet. We will see eventually. I will make an update video following up my forecast here. As we have just checked the Wednesday temperatures and the wind, which looks like it's going from the south to the north, maybe some northeasterly flow here. Let's go to the severe weather category. Look at the shear on Wednesday. 4/14, April 4th, or April 14th. Sorry. Bulk shear, please. Okay, we've got our bulk shear. Let's go to Wednesday. We've already got shear in place here. Plenty of shear in place across most of Texas, up into Oklahoma. A weird area of shear here, probably some kind of obstruction. I'm really concerned about this area because this shear is going to move this way during the event. A lot of shear coming down from the north. We've got pretty moderate, wow. So what we look for severe weather is moisture, instability, lift, and shear. And shear is basically one of the key ingredients for tornado genesis. And basically shear is winds changing with height. So if the wind is going east and northeast, so okay, you've got one height of wind and it's moving to the northeast. If you go up and it's moving due east, that is wind shear, and that is, I guess you could call it a net flow that creates that low pressure. And what we're seeing here is we see the wind is moving east on this model. That's too big. So the wind is moving in this direction, but what we saw before showed the wind moving this direction. So, wind shear, there's quite a bit of it. It's there. It exists. That is one thing that can lead to severe storms. The next thing that can lead to severe storms is a high amount of instability in the atmosphere, and we call this CAPE. So as we wait for this to load, CAPE is convective available potential energy, and it's the measure of how much instability there is in the atmosphere. So the more unstable the CAPE, the more likely there is to be weather that is severe status. And what we saw this March in Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Georgia was a large amount of CAPE, like a very large amount of CAPE. And there was so much CAPE that we had tornado outbreak after tornado outbreak after tornado outbreak. There was like 5 tornado outbreaks in 1 month in the same state. It was crazy. So let's look at the CAPE for this coming week. On Wednesday at 6 UTC, we've got a pretty moderate amount of CAPE here. Nothing especially ridiculous like we saw. There is values in the 2000s, which is kind of concerning for parts of Texas and Louisiana, and into Mississippi over here. We've got values of 5,000 almost. That is pretty concerning. So that's 2 ingredients already for severe weather. So we might have to look out for severe weather which is unfortunate because I do not need it. The next thing is the humidity, I believe. Moisture. No. I need dynamics. I do not have that model. We have to go to the HER. So let's just look at the storm relative helicity, 0 to 3 kilometer AGL. Storm relative helicity is the amount of spin. Let's go straight to Wednesday, which I know is the very last piece of the model. And keep in mind, this is not completely accurate, as the models get less accurate as they go far away from the current time, but they are still believable, and trends usually do end up happening. Things can dramatically change. It's happened before, so keep updated with our forecasts as we go throughout the week. We will post updates every day, hopefully, if we can, about the weather coming your way. If you have a specific request, please put it in the comment section. That's basically it. So let's check out how the Cape is moving. So we've got, or this isn't Cape, this is storm relative helicity. So we've got pretty high storm relative helicities here in the 700s, and the maximum is 900, which is really insane to me. We've got pretty high storm relative helicities. Yeah, so here we've got storm relative helicities almost in the 700s, it looks like, across portions of Texas and into Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and maybe even into Mississippi. We might be able to see some severe weather moving across this area. So let's look at the supercell composite to see how likely it is for there to be supercells in this area on these days. So as we move through the week, the supercell composite doesn't really show much. Maybe a little bit of a chance down here. As we move into the week, kind of diminishes, and all of a sudden it just pops up with storm potential. And this is the start of our system, and it's kind of just getting going. As we move into Wednesday, we don't see too much. Like, we see values maybe 5, 10, 15, nothing crazy. So I don't really expect too much severe weather besides the Monday here, where you've got values in the 20s for the supercell composite. Let's take a look at something else here to see. Does this have moisture? No, it does not have moisture. Let's use the NAM. Might be better for this. Moisture. Aha. Dew point, height, and wind barbs. So let's try and locate a dry line here so we can locate our cold front for sure. So as we move into Monday, I mean, it's clear cut here where the dry air and not dry air is. Let's keep going, keep moving into Wednesday. Lots of we've got a high abundance of moisture here across portions of Texas, maybe some of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and into Mississippi here. This area is to watch for any rain, really, and severe weather. We've got a lot of moisture down here, so this is going to be a really wet system moving into Wednesday. Let's take a look at the relative humidity on this day. Should be interesting to see. Wednesday, we've got, oh my goodness. So, we've got values in the 90s, 98, 99%. That is very indicative of the fact that it's going to rain on this day. So, there's going to be rain all across portions of Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and even into Mississippi as it moves east over the course of the week, really. So we also saw that winter weather potential here and I'd like to go take a look at that. It seems pretty interesting in the spring to have any kind of precip. Let's take a look up here. As we move into the week, there is some snow. Kind of starts to bubble up here. Mostly in the mountains because there's a lot of snow in the mountains during these low pressure systems. And if we go to up here in the north central US, we also saw another system taking shape with quite a bit of snow actually. Yeah, here we go. Snow into portions of Minnesota, North Dakota, and into Canada. Some rain in Wisconsin, maybe some snow in Montana over here. Not much for you guys in South Dakota. Fortunately, the roads will be nice and clear, so you'll get to work early in the day. This low pressure system kind of lingers here for a while, so it'll be snowing a little bit here and there. Maybe some spotty snow showers for you guys up there in the north. But other than that, it should be nice, sunny for the rest of the week afterwards. So that is the forecast for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want more videos like this, I'm going to be doing them every week. So tune in on Sundays and Mondays for your weekly forecast. On Wednesdays, we will be doing a weekly check-in on the weather. So please stay tuned, and we'll stream all severe weather events when they happen. See you guys in the next forecast video. Peace out.